Hello, I'm Sam Highfield, a visual effects supervisor, and I'd like to tell you a story about how one time I had to quite dramatically stand in front of the camera to prevent a shot from being filmed because my VFX supervisor advice was just being ignored. So this is quite a while ago, towards the beginning of my career, and there was a shot where we had, the director had an idea for a shot in a kitchen where everyone would be frozen except for one character who could walk freely in a normal time. And the purse strings were very tight on this production for visual effects budget anyway. And the budget we had for this shot was just £200. So I thought, okay, there's a challenge. How can we make this look good for just £200 so it works for everyone? And I came up with this idea with the director where I said, how about we have a locked off camera, and on the sides of the frame we have frozen people, and in the middle of the frame our character can walk, and the character doesn't occlude the frozen elements. And we can do some nice things as well, like we can have, say, a pan, like a nice big flame that's like frozen, and we can have like some food that's been tossed into the air and that can be frozen, just to really nicely show off the frozen time effect. And the director said, yeah, okay, let's do that. So when it came time to actually film this shot, I got on the radio. They said, Sam, please come down. Okay. I went down and, okay, I'm looking there. I'm on the set. I'm on the kitchen set. Very good. And thinking, hang on, why is that camera on a Steadicam rig? I don't know. I said locked off camera, right? So anyway, I just discreetly went over to the camera operator and I said, are you going to be like staying still? Are you on the spot here? Is that how it's going to work? He says, yeah, we're going to be here. He says, okay, fair enough. So when the director shouts action, what happens? Sure enough, this Steadicam operator starts moving forward, starts swooping around this kitchen, swooping out all the things that should be frozen. Where we got VFX, the character's walking, the main actor is working, behind and in front of the of these elements. And I think, oh wow, this is not what we agreed on at all. This is not a £200 shot anymore. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna stay cool, and I'm gonna wait until the end of the take. When the director shouts cut, I'm gonna swiftly go over there. And I said to the director, this is really different from what we agreed upon. And this is we had under a lot of pressure at this time, as you often are. And the director's under a lot of pressure, and he's saying, look, Sam, we haven't got any time to do anything else. We just have to push forward. We're going to do this and all that kind of thing. I said to him, look, I agree. It would look great if we could kind of swoop around and show, get really close to this fire and pull back and everything. But we can't do it. I didn't go into the detail of how, basically, if we do know this movement, now all these 2D elements that could have been 2D are now 3D. I didn't go into that, but that's the reason why, because there's a big jump in cost from 2D to 3D. And he said, right, let's just carry on. And he started going, okay, let's go for another take. And I thought, whoa, this is getting really serious now, because this was a very important shot where it's going to go and tie the rest of the episode together. So a lot was relying on this, so we couldn't really just cut it out. So I thought, okay, let me freeze time in my own mind, and what can we do to solve this situation? So I projected my mind into the future, and I thought, okay, so I could either just say yes and think I'm the new guy to the VFX, to the film industry. Just film it however you want. I'll make it work and do this and let it take 10 times longer. And I also thought, hang on, what if my VFX supervision advice keeps getting ignored? And everything becomes 10 times longer, and I'm responsible for that. And so, problems on set, but then it's me who has to deal with all the issues afterwards, right? When everyone's gone home and packed up. So I thought, wow, this is I've really got to do something here. And I thought, well, can I go to the production and say, hey guys, how's it going? Just swoop in there and say, VFX budget, I need 10 times the amount, because there's some problems on set, and you know how it goes and all that. And I know what they'd say, because I said tight purse strings. And quite rightly, they'd say to me, no, Sam, this is the budget you had. This is your responsibility is to bring in the VFX on time and on budget. That's your responsibility. So I thought, right, so would that mean that I would then have to go and basically swallow the error and spend 10 times longer doing everything for like just the same amount of money and time? And like, am I gonna have to go into this little cave where I spend like morning till midnight working and then repeat the next day and work 100-hour weeks for months on end? And the production's gonna be like, Sam, where are these shots? Why is it not, looking right and all this kind of thing? I thought this is going to be really, really terrible. This is kind of like a career-ending kind of thing. This is absolutely awful. I'm thinking, wow, what I wouldn't give if I could just go back in time and just be a bit more stern on set. And thought, hang on, I'm actually in that moment right now. We're between the first and second take for this kitchen shot. I thought, I can do something. So I went and stepped in front of the camera and quite stubbornly said, listen, there's no point filming this because we can never use it. We have to go and put the camera back there, and then we have to keep a static camera and go back to the plan. And if you can imagine, this is a bit dramatic. Everyone's looking at me on the set, who's this new guy and all this kind of thing. But I stuck to it, and then we ended up filming it in that way that we planned. Not from a really static camera, but from a steady cam operator staying still, and it's close enough, it's fine. So afterwards, I spoke to the director and the DOP and explained why. Probably not as clearly as I'm doing now. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But I explained it to them, and they realised, okay, fair enough, Sam. It's a bit dramatic, but okay, we get it. So that turned out to be fine in that case, and we could have I think I really avoided a catastrophe. And also, by doing that, I think I was taken a bit more seriously from then onwards about. There's a reason why I say these things, and this is an important point as well, is that we actually continued to work together for many years after that. So that's an important point as well. It wasn't like Sam's making a scene, let's never work with him again. They saw why and actually says, oh, actually, yeah, it makes sense. So that's great. And unfortunately, things like that haven't really happened again since. I've never had to do anything that dramatic, and I think the reason why is because now I like to make this really nice collaborative atmosphere where before, ideally, production begins, I try to establish a nice cooperative thing where I speak with the director, DOP, even like electricians, producers and everyone, as many people as possible, say, this is what we've got and this is how we can get the best from this project. And explain in simple, clear terms about how VFX works. So, for example, if using that example of the kitchen, it's like if a prop, if something can be done from a locked off camera, things don't have to be 2D as opposed to 3D. So if I take this camera, for example, if you only ever see it from this angle, that could be a photograph, right? But as soon as we start seeing around it, the camera starts moving around, it's going to have to be a fully 3D thing. And then once people kind of realize that and they think, oh, actually, yes, I can see why we do it that way. Because if we did it that other way, that wouldn't work, would it? Because if you see a photograph from the side, it's like paper thin. And that's a simple example, but you get the idea. And when it becomes like that state, you think, oh, actually, yeah, I can see really why it works. So people understand it's not just me saying, do this. Why? I said, just do it that way. It doesn't really work. And I've noticed that it's a good idea to do that because not just in VFX or film industry, but in many other industries, you have this problem where you get these like no people where someone says, can we do this? No. Can we do that? No. Can we do that? No. And it makes this kind of like us versus them kind of atmosphere, which I don't think is very good. And I think it makes a few poisonous things that's come from that. But by making this nice collaborative atmosphere where we kind of know a little bit of each other's jobs, it goes a long way to make everything going really smoothly. And I'm very happy to say that it doesn't just mean that we make the best work, but I've also made some really nice lasting friendships from that as well. Anyway, I'm Sam Highfield, VFX Supervisor. Consider hiring me for your next project. Send me an email. My email will be somewhere around this video, and we can have a nice conversation and talk about your project. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.